Hello there, and welcome to Quiz Bible, the place where we put your biblical knowledge to the test. I'm so glad you've joined us for this enlightening journey. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Show your support by clicking the like button and type Amen to show your faith. Let us know how well you did by leaving a comment at the end. It's a great way to engage with fellow quiz takers and share your experiences. So, let's embark on this biblical adventure with Quiz Bible. Question 1. Who offered his own daughters to a mob in Sodom to protect his angelic guests? A. Lot. B. Abraham. C. Isaac. D. Jacob. The right answer is letter A. Behold, I have 2 daughters who have not known any man. Let me bring them out to you, and do to them as you please. Only do nothing to these men, for they have come under the shelter of my roof. Question 2. Which prophet was swallowed by a great fish after trying to escape God's command? A. Isaiah. B. Jeremiah. C. Jonah. D. Amos. The right answer is letter C. And the Lord appointed a great fish to swallow up Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Question 3. Who fell asleep during one of Paul's long sermons, fell out of a window, and died, but was miraculously revived by Paul? A. Eutychus. B. Trophimus. C. Aristarchus. D. Onesimus. The right answer is letter A. And a young man named Eutychus, sitting at the window, sank into a deep sleep as Paul talked still longer. And being overcome by sleep, he fell down from the 3rd story and was taken up dead. Question 4. Which disciple doubted Jesus' resurrection until he could physically touch the wounds on Jesus' body? A. Peter. B. James. C. Thomas. D. John. The right answer is letter C. Now Thomas, one of the 12, called the twin, was not with them when Jesus came. Thomas answered him, "My Lord and my God." Question 5. Which son of Jacob was sold into slavery by his brothers? A. Joseph. B. Benjamin. C. Reuben. D. Judah. The right answer is letter A. So when the Midianite merchants came by, his brothers pulled Joseph up out of the cistern and sold him for 20 shekels of silver to the Ishmaelites, who took him to Egypt. Question 6. What was the name of Joseph's master in Egypt? A. Potiphar. B. Pharaoh. C. Ramses. D. Nebuchadnezzar. The right answer is letter A. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potiphar, an Egyptian who was one of Pharaoh's officials, the captain of the guard, bought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. Question 7. How many years of plenty and famine did Joseph predict in Pharaoh's dream? A. 40 years. B. 12 years. C. 7 years. D. 20 years. The right answer is letter C. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt, but 7 years of famine will follow them. Question 8. What miraculous event led the Israelites to escape from Egypt? A. Turning the Nile into blood. B. Plague of locusts. C. Parting of the Red Sea. D. Darkness over Egypt. The right answer is letter C. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and all that night the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind and turned it into dry land. Question 9. Who was Moses' brother and spokesperson? A. Caleb. B. Miriam. C. Joshua. D. Aaron. The right answer is letter D. Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, "What about your brother Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well." Question 10. What mountain did Moses climb to receive the 10 Commandments? A. Mount Sinai. B. Mount Horeb. C. Mount Nebo. D. Mount Moriah. The right answer is letter A. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain. Question 11. How many plagues were sent upon Egypt before Pharaoh allowed the Israelites to leave? A. 7. B. 10. C. 12. D. 14. The right answer is letter B, as the Passover story tells it. After Pharaoh refuses Moses' entreaties to let the enslaved Israelites go free, God sends a series of 10 plagues to pressure the Egyptian ruler. Question 12. Who led the Israelites in battle against the Amalekites while Moses prayed on the hill? A. Joshua. B. Caleb. C. Gideon. D. Samson. The right answer is letter A. So Joshua fought the Amalekites as Moses had ordered, and Moses, Aaron, and Hur went to the top of the hill. Question 13. What was the name of Moses' father-in-law, a priest of Midian? A. Jethro. B. Hobab. C. Zipporah. D. Eleazar. The right answer is letter A. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. Question 14. Which prophetess and judge led the Israelites in singing a victory song after the defeat of the Canaanites? A. Miriam. B. Deborah. C. Huldah. D. Rahab. The right answer is letter B. The Song of Deborah is found in the book of Judges and is a victory hymn sung by Deborah and Barak about the defeat of Canaanite adversaries by some of the tribes of Israel. What was the manna? Question 15. A miraculous food provided to the Israelites in the wilderness? A. Bread. B. Quail. C. Honey. D. Manna. The right answer is letter A. When the Israelites saw it, they said to each other, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. Moses said to them, "It is the bread the Lord has given you to eat." Question 16. Who replaced Moses as the leader of the Israelites after his death? A. Gideon. B. Caleb. C. Aaron. D. Joshua. The right answer is letter D. After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun, Moses' aide, "Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people, get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to them, to the Israelites." Question 17. What was the significance of the burning bush encountered by Moses? A. It represented God's presence. B. It symbolized purification. C. It foreshadowed the destruction of Egypt. D. It was a test of Moses' faith. The right answer is letter A. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, "I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up." Question 18. Which brother of Joseph pleaded for Benjamin's release when they went to Egypt for grain? A. Simeon. B. Reuben. C. Judah. D. Levi. The right answer is letter C. Then Judah went up to him and said, "Pardon your servant, my lord. Let me speak a word to my lord. Do not be angry with your servant, though you are equal to Pharaoh himself." Question 19. What did God instruct the Israelites to put on their doorposts during the Passover to protect them from the angel of death? A. Water. B. Olive oil. C. Blood of a lamb. D. Fig leaves. The right answer is letter C. Then they are to take some of the blood and put it on the sides and tops of the door frames of the houses where they eat the lambs. Question 20. Who was the Egyptian princess who found and adopted the baby Moses? A. Cleopatra. B. Pharaoh's daughter. C. Nefertiti. D. Hatshepsut. The right answer is letter B. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her female slave to get it. Question 21. What was the name of Moses' wife? A. Miriam. B. Zipporah. C. Leah. D. Rachel. The right answer is letter B. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, "I have become a foreigner in a foreign land." Question 22. Which Egyptian official's wife tried to seduce Joseph but accused him falsely, leading to his imprisonment? A. Merneptah. B. Pharaoh. C. Asenath. D. Potiphar. The right answer is letter D. And though she spoke to Joseph day after day, he refused to go to bed with her or even be with her. One day he went into the house to attend to his duties, and none of the household servants was inside. Question 23. What did God use to guide the Israelites by day and night in the wilderness? A. Pillar of cloud and fire. B. Star of Bethlehem. C. Golden calf. D. Ark of the Covenant. The right answer is letter A. By day, the Lord went ahead of them in a pillar of cloud to guide them on their way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light so that they could travel by day or night. Question 24. What was the purpose of the Ark of the Covenant? A. To store manna. B. To house the 10 Commandments. C. To serve as a weapon in battle. D. To contain the rod of Aaron. The right answer is letter B. The Ark of the Covenant was made for 2 reasons. First, it carried the stone tablets on which the 10 Commandments were written. Second, it functioned as a way for Yahweh's presence to be with the Israelites and communicate with them. Question 25. Who was the firstborn son of Jacob and Leah? A. Reuben. B. Simeon. C. Levi. D. Judah. The right answer is letter A. Leah became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She named him Reuben, for she said, "It is because the Lord has seen my misery." Question 26. What did Moses use to bring water from a rock in the wilderness? A. Staff. B. Rod. C. Sword. D. Scepter. The right answer is letter A. The Lord answered Moses, "Go out in front of the people. Take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go." Question 27. Which son of Jacob had a coat of many colors and was favored by his father? A. Benjamin. B. Joseph. C. Judah. D. Dan. The right answer is letter B. Now Israel loved Joseph more than any of his other sons because he had been born to him in his old age, and he made an ornate robe for him. Question 28. What significant event happened during the crossing of the Red Sea? A. The earth opened up and swallowed the Egyptians. B. The Israelites built a bridge of stone. C. A strong wind parted the sea. D. The waters turned into blood. The right answer is letter B. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and all that night the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind and turned it into dry land. Question 29. What was the significance of the burning bush that Moses encountered? A. It represented God's presence. B. It was a source of light. C. It symbolized wisdom. D. It was a test of Moses' courage. The right answer is letter A. So Moses thought, "I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up." When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, "Moses, Moses!" And Moses said, "Here I am." Question 30. Who adopted Moses and raised him as her own son in the palace of Egypt? A. Zipporah. B. Miriam. C. Pharaoh's daughter. D. Jochebed. The right answer is letter C. Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the riverbank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her female slave to get it. 31. What was the name of Moses' brother? A. Aaron. B. Joshua. C. Caleb. D. Gideon. The right answer is letter A. Then the Lord's anger burned against Moses, and he said, "What about your brother, Aaron the Levite? I know he can speak well. He is already on his way to meet you, and he will be glad to see you." 32. Which river did Moses part to allow the Israelites to escape from Egypt? A. Nile. B. The Red Sea. C. Tigris. D. Jordan. The right answer is letter B. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. And all that night the Lord drove the sea back with a strong east wind and turned it into dry land. 33. How did God provide food for the Israelites during their journey in the wilderness? A. Manna. B. Quail. C. Bread. D. All of the above. The right answer is letter D. That evening, quail came and covered the camp, and in the morning there was a layer of dew around the camp. When the dew was gone, thin flakes like frost on the ground appeared on the desert floor. 34. What was the 10 Commandments? A. A list of rules for building the ark. B. A set of principles for leadership. C. God's moral and ethical guidelines. D. A code for war strategy. The right answer is letter C. And God spoke all these words. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. 35. Where did Moses receive the 10 Commandments? A. Mount Sinai. B. Mount Horeb. C. Mount Nebo. D. Mount Zion. The right answer is letter A. The Lord descended to the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the mountain, and God spoke all these words. 36. What was the name of Moses' wife? A. Zipporah. B. Miriam. C. Leah. D. Rachel. The right answer is letter A. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, I have become a foreigner in a foreign land. Question 9. Which son of Moses succeeded him as the leader of the Israelites? A. Caleb. B. Joshua. C. Aaron. D. Gideon. The right answer is letter B. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands on him. 37. What was the purpose of the bronze serpent that Moses lifted up in the wilderness? A. To ward off snakes. B. To signal victory in battle. C. To heal the Israelites. D. To test the people's faith. The right answer is letter C. The Lord said to Moses, make a snake and put it up on a pole. Anyone who is bitten can look at it and live. 38. Who challenged Moses' leadership, leading to a rebellion against him? A. Korah. B. Balaam. C. Dathan. D. Jethro. The right answer is letter A. Korah, son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and certain Reubenites, Dathan and Abiram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Peleth, became insolent and rose up against Moses. 39. What did Moses strike to bring water for the thirsty Israelites in the wilderness? A. Well. B. Tree. C. Mountain. D. Rock. The right answer is letter D. The Lord answered Moses, "Go out in front of the people, take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go." 40. Where did Moses receive the instructions for building the Ark of the Covenant? A. Mount Horeb. B. Mount Sinai. C. Mount Nebo. D. Mount Zion. The right answer is letter B. See that you make them according to the pattern shown you on the mountain. 41. What was the name of the mountain where Moses died and was buried by God? A. Mount Sinai. B. Mount Horeb. C. Mount Nebo. D. Mount Zion. The right answer is letter C. Then Moses climbed Mount Nebo from the plains of Moab to the top of Pisgah, across from Jericho. 42. How long did the Israelites wander in the wilderness before reaching the Promised Land? A. 40 days. B. 40 years. C. 70 years. D. 100 years. The right answer is letter B. Your children will be shepherds here for 40 years, suffering for your unfaithfulness, until the last of your bodies lies in the wilderness. For 40 years, 1 year, for each of the 40 days you explored the land, you will suffer for your sins and know what it is like to have me against you. 43. What did Moses use to write the first 5 books of the Bible? A. Quill and parchment. B. Stone tablets. C. Papyrus. D. Scroll. The right answer is letter D. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Write this on a scroll as something to be remembered and make sure that Joshua hears it, because I will completely blot out the name of Amalek from under heaven." 44. Who spoke to Moses through a burning bush? A. God. B. Angel. C. Prophet. D. Priest. The right answer is letter A. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, "Moses, Moses!" And Moses said, "Here I am." 45. What was the purpose of the tabernacle in the wilderness? A. To serve as a place of worship. B. To house the Ark of the Covenant. C. To symbolize God's presence. D. All of the above. The right answer is letter D. Then have them make a sanctuary for me, and I will dwell among them. Set up the tabernacle, the tent of meeting, on the first day of the first month. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. 46. What did Moses do when he saw the Israelites worshiping the golden calf? A. Broke the 10 Commandments. B. Built an altar. C. Offered sacrifices. D. Prayed for forgiveness. The right answer is letter A. When Moses approached the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, his anger burned and he threw the tablets out of his hands, breaking them to pieces at the foot of the mountain. 47. Who helped Moses lift his hands during the battle against the Amalekites? A. Miriam. B. Aaron and Hur. C. Joshua. D. Caleb. The right answer is letter B. Later, when Moses' arms became tired, the men put a large rock under him, and he sat on it. Then Aaron and Hur held up Moses' hands, Aaron on one side and Hur on the other. They kept his hands steady until the sun went down. So Joshua defeated the Amalekites in this battle. 48. What was the primary role of Moses during the Exodus? A. Prophet. B. King. C. Priest. D. Judge. The right answer is letter A. Since then, no prophet has risen in Israel like Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. 49. Who was the sister of Moses and Aaron, known for her musical talents? A. Hagar. B. Zipporah. C. Miriam. D. Leah. The right answer is letter C. Then Miriam the prophet, Aaron's sister, took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her, with timbrels and dancing. 50. What was the name of the land promised to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? A. Assyria. B. Egypt. C. Babylon. D. Canaan. The right answer is letter D, the whole land of Canaan. Where you now reside as a foreigner, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you, and I will be their God. 51. Who was Moses' father-in-law, a priest of Midian? A. Jethro. B. Hobab. C. Zipporah. D. Eleazar. The right answer is letter A. Now a priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came to draw water and fill the troughs to water their father's flock. 52. What was the final plague that led Pharaoh to release the Israelites from slavery? A. Plague of locusts. B. Death of the firstborn. C. Water turned into blood. D. Darkness over Egypt. The right answer is letter B. At midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn in Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, who sat on the throne, to the firstborn of the prisoner who was in the dungeon, and the firstborn of all the livestock as well. 53. What did Moses use to part the Red Sea, allowing the Israelites to escape from the pursuing Egyptians? A. Rod. B. Sword. C. Staff. D. Spear. The right answer is letter C. Raise your staff and stretch out your hand over the sea to divide the water so that the Israelites can go through the sea on dry ground. 54. Who was swallowed by a great fish for refusing to deliver God's message? A. Elijah. B. Jonah. C. Ezekiel. D. Moses. The right answer is letter B. Now the Lord had prepared a great fish to swallow Jonah, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. This event occurred when Jonah attempted to flee from God's command to go to Nineveh and deliver a message of repentance. 55. What was the name of the man who fell out of a window while Paul was preaching and died, but was later raised from the dead? A. Philemon. B. Eutychus. C. Onesimus. D. Titus. The right answer is letter B. Seated in a window was a young man named Eutychus, who was sinking into a deep sleep as Paul talked on and on. When he was sound asleep, he fell to the ground from the 3rd story and was picked up dead. Paul went down, threw himself on the young man, and put his arms around him. "Don't be alarmed," he said. "He's alive." 56. Which woman in the New Testament was known for making tents and supporting Paul's ministry? A. Phoebe. B. Lydia. C. Priscilla. D. Dorcas. The right answer is letter C. There he met a Jew named Aquila, a native of Pontus, who had recently come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had ordered all Jews to leave Rome. Paul went to see them, and because he was a tent maker as they were, he stayed and worked with them. 57. In which book of the Bible did a donkey speak to its owner? Balaam. A. Genesis. B. Judges. C. Deuteronomy. D. Numbers. The right answer is letter D. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth, and it said to Balaam, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" Balaam answered the donkey, "You have made a fool of me. If only I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now." 58. What was the name of the city where Paul and Silas were imprisoned and experienced an earthquake? A. Philippi. B. Ephesus. C. Corinth. D. Thessalonica. The right answer is letter A. After they had been severely flogged, they were thrown into prison, and the jailer was commanded to guard them carefully. When he received these orders, he put them in the inner cell and fastened their feet in the stocks. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening to them. 59. Who was the judge of Israel, known for his superhuman strength and long hair? A. Gideon. B. Samson. C. Jephthah. D. Ehud. The right answer is letter B. He told her all his heart and said to her, "A razor has never come upon my head, for I have been a Nazirite to God from my mother's womb. If my head is shaved, then my strength will leave me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man." 60. Which disciple was a tax collector before being called by Jesus? A. Matthew. B. Simon Peter. C. James the Less. D. Andrew. The right answer is letter A. As Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me." And he rose and followed him. Matthew, also known as Levi, left his tax collector's profession to become one of the 12 apostles and an author of one of the Gospels. 61. Which disciple was nicknamed the Zealot? A. Simon Peter. B. James the Greater. C. Thaddeus. D. Simon the Canaanite. The right answer is letter C, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot, who betrayed him. The nickname Zealot suggests Simon's possible association with a Jewish political movement known for its zeal and resistance against Roman rule. 62. What was the name of the man who was blind from birth and received his sight after Jesus healed him? A. Bartimaeus. B. Lazarus. C. Nicodemus. D. Jairus. The right answer is letter A. As he went along, he saw a man blind from birth. Having said this, he spit on the ground, made some mud with the saliva, and put it on the man's eyes. "Go," he told him, "wash in the pool of Siloam." This word means sent. So the man went and washed and came home seeing. 63. Which king of Israel was known for his wisdom, but later turned away from God? A. Hezekiah. B. David. C. Solomon. D. Josiah. The right answer is letter C. King Solomon, however, loved many foreign women besides Pharaoh's daughter, Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites. They were from nations about which the Lord had told the Israelites, "You must not intermarry with them, because they will surely turn your hearts after their gods." 64. What was the name of the man who doubted Jesus' resurrection until he could touch the wounds? A. Thomas. B. Philip. C. Bartholomew. D. Andrew. The right answer is letter A. Now Thomas, also known as Didymus, one of the 12, was not with the disciples when Jesus came. A week later, his disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them. Though the doors were locked, Jesus came and stood among them and said, "Peace be with you." 65. Which Old Testament prophet was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind without experiencing death? A. Elijah. B. Isaiah. C. Jeremiah. D. Daniel. The right answer is letter A. As they were walking along and talking together, suddenly a chariot of fire and horses of fire appeared and separated the two of them. And Elijah went up to heaven in a whirlwind. "66. What was the occupation of Aquila and Priscilla, a couple mentioned in the New Testament? A. Fishermen. B. Tent makers. C. Tax collectors. D. Farmers. The right answer is letter B. There he met a Jew named Aquila, a native of Pontus, who had recently come from Italy with his wife Priscilla because Claudius had ordered all Jews to leave Rome. Paul went to see them, and because he was a tent maker as they were, he stayed and worked with them. 67. Which king of Israel was known for his 12 sons, who became the heads of the 12 tribes? A. David. B. Solomon. C. Jacob, Israel. D. Saul. The right answer is letter C. While Israel was living in that region, Reuben went in and slept with his father's concubine Bilhah, and Israel heard of it. Jacob had 12 sons, the sons of Leah: Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. 68. In the parable of the Good Samaritan, who passed by the injured man before the Samaritan helped him? A. A priest. B. A Levite. C. A Pharisee. D. A scribe. The right answer is letter A. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too, a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. 69. Who was the Roman centurion who showed great faith in Jesus, resulting in his servant's healing? A. Cornelius. B. Julius. C. Centurionius. D. Octavius. The right answer is letter A. When Jesus had entered Capernaum, a centurion came to him, asking for help. The centurion replied, "Lord, I do not deserve to have you come under my roof, but just say the word, and my servant will be healed." 70. What was the name of the man who replaced Judas Iscariot as one of the 12 apostles? A. Silas. B. Matthias. C. Barnabas. D. Mark. The right answer is letter B. So they nominated 2 men, Joseph called Barsabbas, also known as Justus, and Matthias. Then they prayed, "Lord, you know everyone's heart. Show us which of these 2 you have chosen to take over this apostolic ministry." 71. Which woman in the Bible became a widow twice and later followed her mother-in-law, Naomi? A. Esther. B. Ruth. C. Mary. D. Deborah. The right answer is letter B. In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. So a man from Bethlehem in Judah, together with his wife and 2 sons, went to live for a while in the country of Moab. The man's name was Elimelech, his wife's name was Naomi, and the names of his 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. 72. Who was the high priest at the time of Jesus' trial and condemnation? A. Simon Peter. B. Gamaliel. C. Annas. D. Caiaphas. The right answer is letter D. Then the chief priests and the elders of the people assembled in the palace of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas, and they schemed to arrest Jesus secretly and kill him. 73. What fruit did Eve eat in the Garden of Eden, leading to the fall of humanity? A. Grape. B. Fig. C. The forbidden fruit. D. Pomegranate. The right answer is letter C. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. 74. Who betrayed Jesus with a kiss, leading to his arrest? A. Peter. B. John. C. Judas Iscariot. D. Thomas. The right answer is letter C. While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him." 75. What was the name of the city where Jesus was born? A. Nazareth. B. Bethlehem. C. Jerusalem. D. Capernaum. The right answer is letter B. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem. The birth of Jesus in Bethlehem fulfills the prophecy in Micah 5:2. '76. Which prophet was known for his visions of dry bones coming to life? A. Ezekiel. B. Isaiah. C. Jeremiah. D. Daniel. The right answer is letter A. The hand of the Lord was on me, and he brought me out by the Spirit of the Lord, and set me in the middle of a valley. It was full of bones. Then he said to me, Prophesy to these bones, and say to them, Dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. 77. Who was the first murderer in the Bible, killing his brother out of jealousy? A. Abel. B. Cain. C. Seth. D. Enoch. The right answer is letter B. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, Let's go out to the field. And while they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. This tragic event occurred due to jealousy and God's rejection of Cain's offering. 78. What was the name of the servant who healed Naaman's leprosy by bathing in the Jordan River? A. Gehazi. B. Elisha. C. Elijah. D. Obadiah. The right answer is letter A. When Naaman reached the man of God and saw him standing there, he was surprised that the prophet had not gone out to meet him. But the prophet Elisha sent a messenger to say to him, Go, wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan, and your flesh will be restored, and you will be cleansed. 79. Who was the prostitute who helped the Israelite spies in Jericho? A. Rahab. B. Tamar. C. Bathsheba. D. Delilah. The right answer is letter A. Then Joshua son of Nun secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. Go, look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. Attended. Who was the brother of Mary and Martha whom Jesus raised from the dead? A. Zacchaeus. B. Nicodemus. C. Jairus. D. Lazarus. The right answer is letter D. Now, a man named Lazarus was sick. He was from Bethany, the village of Mary and her sister Martha. So they took away the stone. Then Jesus looked up and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. 81. Which Old Testament character was known for his patience and endurance through trials? A. Jacob. B. Abraham. C. Isaac. D. Job. The right answer is letter D. In the land of Uz, there lived a man whose name was Job. This man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil. Job's story is characterized by his enduring faith and patience, despite facing severe trials orchestrated by Satan. Wow! It was incredible going through this quiz with you. Don't forget to show your appreciation by clicking that like button and hit the subscribe button below. We look forward to having you with us in the future. Before you go, please let us know how you fared on the quiz. Leave a comment telling us how many questions you got right. Thank you for being part of this Quiz Bible experience. We'll see you in the next quizzes.